Hello, welcome to Professor's Garage. This Honda Odyssey is 12 years old.
It needs a new set of front brake rotors and pads.
So today we are going to replace them. And here are things you need for this replacement.
Front brake rotors and brake pads, brake grease, NTCs, brake cleaner, and thread locker blue. As an option, you may need some brake fluid and penetrating oil.
You will need a breaker bar or a larger ratchet, 14, 19, and 22 millimeter sockets. Torque wrench that can reach about 100 foot-pounds.
Some caliper pressing tool like this or a C-clamp.
It is also helpful to have a manual impact screwdriver and a couple of wire brushes. These M8125 bolts are not required, but they are helpful when it comes to separating the brake rotors from the wheel bearing. Before you get started, put on the safety glasses. Take out some brake fluid. Replace the cover. This is to prevent brake fluid from overflowing when we press the piston. Engage the parking brake. Chuck the back of the wheels. With the breaker bar and the 22 millimeter socket, break loose the lock nuts. Only break them loose. Do not remove them. Same to the other side. Break them loose. Check up the car. Place two jack stands under the car. Consult your owner's manual, but here is where I put the jack stands. This is one side and this is the other side. Now I'm going to lower the car onto the jack stand. And here's another look at where the jack point is. It's a good idea to leave the jack where it is right now with the jack point so you have another support for your safety. Give the car a push. Yep, it is safe. Take off the wheels. Turn the steering wheel to the side that you are walking on so you have more space. Take off the two 14 millimeter bolts to remove the caliper. Another bolt. Hang it with a bungee cord. It's important not to stretch the brake line here. We hang here and there is no stress on the line. With the 19 millimeter socket, we are going to remove the caliper bracket. These bolts have been there for 12 years. I was able to remove the upper one, but for the one on the bottom, it's harder to remove. So what I'm going to do is to apply some penetrating oil. Let it sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back with the breaker bar to see if I can break it loose. It's easier to use an impact wrench for this kind of removal, but I want to show you how to do it with a hand tool. Hopefully, we'll succeed. Back with the breaker bar. Sounds like it broke loose. Continue. It works. Continue with the ratchet. After we take off the two 19 millimeter bolts, we will be able to remove the bracket. Now we'll look at the caliper and do some cleaning. So it is a good idea to have a mask. The wire brush like this, remove the rust. Not perfect, but much better. It is very satisfying. Let's check the pins. Put on some new grease. Put it back. Slide it. Make sure it slides very smoothly. Also make sure that the boots are on. And we should do the same for the other one. Being extremely cautious, I'm going to spray some penetrating oil on the two screws. To help with the removal, I'm going to use this manual impact driver. Because we're going to loosen the screws, twist this to the left, lefty-loosey or counterclockwise. Voila! Now with the screws removed, if you try to remove this rotor, it has been there for 12 years. To separate the rotor from the wheel bearing, you can either hit it with the mallet, hopefully it will come off, and this is because the rust has been there for 12 years and it's really difficult to separate them. Thanks to Honda, we actually have a better way to remove this. If you have M8 125 bolts, there are two holes on the rotor that you can thread these two bolts in. So I'm threading these two bolts in. And once they reach the other side of the rotor, it's going to push it out. Now you can remove the rotor. We're going to clean the wheel bearing. Now we are ready to put on the brake rotor. Many rotors today are coated with grease for the shipment, but for this particular rotor, it does not. So if you use a piece of paper towel and wipe it, there's no grease. So you do not need to use brake clean to clean it. Otherwise you do. So now I'm going to put the rotor on the wheel bearing, and then we'll reinstall everything else back. When you put the rotor on, do make sure you line up with the two screw holes. We are going to put the two screws back in place. These are not important for safety, but they do help with the installation to keep the rotor in place while you put everything back. Just like that. And the other side as well. Now we are ready to put the bracket back in place. Apply blue lacquer to the two bolts, 19mm. Thread the bolts in and torque it to 101 foot-pound. Torque the other bolt also to 101 foot-pound. Now we are going to put in the brake pads. This one with the metal here is the brake pad indicator, goes inside. I will apply some grease at the top and bottom and the back as well. To put it in, you need to slide in with an angle and then make a turn. It's actually easier to show from the outside. So again, I'm going to apply some grease on the top and on the bottom. And I'm going to slide this in with the angle and then push in and then turn, make a turn. And then it will go in. Just like that. Again, I'm going to apply some grease on the back. Both pads are ready. We're ready to press the caliper piston and reinstall the caliper. Use the old pad and then put it on the piston with the pressing tool. Press them, push them back until they are both flush. Now I will clean the contact surface of the pistons a little bit and apply some grease there as well. Also check the boots. They are well seated in the boots. Should be good. Brake grease here. Now we are ready to reinstall the caliper. If the pins are in the way, you may want to press them in a little bit. Now they are good in place. Apply some blue thread locker to the tip of the 14mm bolts. So the thread locker will make sure that the bolts will stay in place even with ongoing vibration. Torque them to 37 foot-pounds. Now turn the wheel and repeat everything on the driver's side. Put on the wheel, tighten the nuts, then lower the vehicle. Make sure you remove everything under the car. Lower the vehicle, tighten the lug nut and torque them to 94 foot-pounds. And do the same to the wheel on the other side. And before you drive the car, pump the brake pedal for a number of times until it's firm. Check the brake fluid level. Make sure it is at the maximum level. Now the car is ready for braking. Enjoy the ride. I enjoy doing this work. I hope this video is informative. If a college professor can do this, you can do it. Be safe, stay dirty, enjoy the work. Until the next time.
May the Lord bless you and give you peace. 平安。